Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Rajasthan while speaking at a public rally just a few moments ago in Bikaner. He has said India has avenged the deadly April 22nd terror attack in Pahalgam in 22 minutes through Operation Sindoor, the retaliatory military offensive against Pakistan that targeted several locations within the country as well as the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir region, which were harboring terrorists. Remember, today is 1 month since the Pahalgam terror attacks. As many as 100 terrorists that were neutralized and 9 terror camps that were destroyed by India under Operation Sindoor. Prime Minister Modi asserting the fact today that the government had given a free hand to all 3 armed forces to avenge Pahalgam. Remember, today, of course, is that anniversary. Unfortunately, it's a very somber and bleak and dark anniversary. 1 month since the Pahalgam terror attacks, which led to 26 people losing their lives. Let's listen in to what Prime Minister Modi said just a short while back.
22 तारीख के हमले के जवाब में हमने 22 मिनट में आतंकियों के 9 सबसे बड़े ठिकाने तबाह कर दिए। दुनिया ने और देश के दुश्मनों ने भी देख लिया कि जब सिंदूर बारूद बन जाता है तो नतीजा क्या होता है।
Ajay Jandal is joining us for more details on this story. Ajay, a strong message being sent out by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It's been 1 month since the Pahalgam terror attacks. PM Modi saying that incident happened on 22 April. And in 22 minutes, our forces avenged that incident. In 22 minutes, our forces struck 9 terror camps across Pakistan. Free hand was given to the forces, and terrorists and their terror infrastructure was razed to the ground. Mitti mein mil gaye. Ajay.
Yes, you rightly said, because there was an outrage among every Indian living across the world, and when this incident, a horrific incident took place, when Pakistani terrorists, they have brutally killed 26 civilians, and those were tourists, those were here in the Pahalgam to enjoy their life, enjoy their days, holidays, and that was something which was, which was not tolerable, and that is what the forces and the government have done. That they have started, they decided that it will be avenged. It will be avenged like anything, which will give a message to enemy Pakistan that if any terror activity will take place, then how Indian forces could respond. And yes, in 22 minutes only, 9 terror launchpad and terror headquarters in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir that were decimated to the ground by the forces, and it was ensured that not only on the borders, not only on the line of control in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, but also the terrorists, those who are sitting in Pakistan, deep inside Pakistan, that will not be spared. And we have seen that Hafiz Saeed, Masood Azhar's, headquarters were decimated. We have seen that how more than 100 terrorists were gunned down by the forces in this section. And Prime Minister, while addressing this gathering, clearly gave a message to enemy once again that if they will try to do anything like this in the future, then they will not be spared, because forces, they know that how to avenge it, how to take action against enemy if they are trying to disturb peace over here.
Absolutely. Ajay, which were the other main points that stood out for you in the Prime Minister's address today?
See, Prime Minister have clearly gave a message to enemy, and by saying that this is something which is not tolerable. He says that our people, those who are going to Jammu and Kashmir, they basically they basically goes to live their life. They know that things are peaceful in Jammu and Kashmir, and basically it doesn't suit to Pakistan, because Pakistan don't want to see any peaceful atmosphere in the Jammu and Kashmir because Pakistan's propaganda and narrative what Pakistan was trying to build across the world was to say that things are not peaceful in Kashmir, and that's why we have decimated them. We have mitti mein mila diya. That was something which was Prime Minister's word during his first address. When he was speaking in Bihar. And today, when he once again repeated, he says that we have done it, and our forces have avenged, this terror incident in Pahalgam in only 22 minutes.
Major General P.K. Sehgal, defense expert, also now joins us on the broadcast. Major General P.K. Sehgal, a big message being sent out by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on New India's policy towards terror. Prime Minister Modi, of course, speaking about Operation Sindoor, how in 22 minutes what happened on the 22 April was avenged. Major General Sehgal.
Prime Minister is a very fiery speaker, and he knows what to put across at what point of time. He categorically sent out a very strong message to Pakistan, wherein he stated, if you ever do something like wiping out the Sindoor from the foreheads of our ladies, we will totally decimate you. उसने साफ तौर पे कहा कि 22 ही मिनट में हमने आपके 9 जो टेररिस्ट हब्स हैं उनको कम्प्लीटली मिट्टी में मिला दिया, और आइंदा भी इस माफी की कार्रवाई करोगे तो हम इससे भी ज़्यादा आपको मिट्टी में मिलाएंगे. In fact, the total offensive from the Indian side was only 45 minutes. 22 minutes was on 7th of May, and night 9th, 10th was 23 minutes. They wiped out 11 air bases of theirs. So exactly in 45 minutes, the Indian army virtually brought the Pakistani nation and the Pakistani army and the Air Force to their knees. Prime Minister has also gone on to say very strongly that there can be no trade or no talks with Pakistan unless trade, talks and terrorism cannot go together. And he's also stated loud and clear for the international environment, the new normal, in which he said that any act of terrorism initiated by Pakistan would be met with a force much bigger than what has been done now. Second thing, he said, under no circumstances will India ever accept or succumb to nuclear blackmail that Pakistan was wielding against us for the last 30 years. And the third, he said, those terrorists and their sponsors, that is actors, Pakistan is being saying non-state actors hai. Non-state actors and state actors, which is the ISI and the Pakistani army, will be, unko dono ko ek hi tarazu mein dekha jayega, and we will act against both of them. In other words, he stated very strongly and very categorically that should Pakistan ever do a similar thing, we will now not hesitate at attacking the Pakistani army and the Pakistani ISI in addition to the terrorists. This time we only targeted the terrorists, but next time हम वो non-state actors जो हैं और state actors हैं उनको भी नहीं छोड़ेंगे, उनको भी नहीं बख्शेंगे. And Pakistan, the message is very, very strongly conveyed across. He not only addressed the domestic audience within India, he also addressed the audience in Pakistan and the international audience, particularly the Western world, which has been always playing a double game. He made it loud and clear, without an iota of doubt, as to what the future stance of the government of India and the Indian Armed Forces would be. Secondly, praise the Indian Armed Forces. He said he gave them a free hand, and what the world saw was professionalism of the ultimate variety. 3 forces acted in unison, and within a matter of 22 minutes, they wiped out 9 terrorist hubs without creating any collateral damage to civilians or to military installations. This sort of a precision, this sort of a coordination, this sort of integration, jointness was never seen before by the world. Nobody thought that Indian Armed Forces could do a thing like this. Thereby, once again, Indian Army is today considered as the most professional, most revered, most regarded army in the world. And people across the globe are now wondering and beginning to agree and believe that the Indian Army Armed Forces are a guardian angel of India's homogeneity, integrity and sovereignty. Notwithstanding the fact that the opposition parties will continue to doubt this, but it is an absolute, very strong message of the type of achievement that the Indian Armed Forces have been able to achieve. Then the coordination between the 4 ministries, which are very vital for pursuing a modern warfare. The coordination between the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of External Affairs, Minister of Economic Affairs and Home Affairs was stupendous. All of them acted in unison. The Economic Ministry carried out the economic strike by saying inter-water treaty is held in abeyance and no water will flow into Pakistan. As far as the External Affairs Ministry was concerned, diplomatically and politically, they isolated Pakistan and also did a digital strike in Pakistan. And as far as the armed forces were concerned, they did a kinetic strike of the variety that possibly the world hasn't seen for very many times. While America has not been able to, despite all its power at its disposal, has not been able to sort out Houthis. Russians have not been able to sort out Ukraine in almost 3 years, and Israelis have not been able to sort out Hamas. What we did in 22 minutes, knocked out 9 of the terrorist hubs, and thereafter in 23 minutes, wiped out 11 air bases of Pakistan and brought the Pakistani armed forces completely to their knees. They ran helter-skelter, they ran to the world asking for assistance. Their DGMO thereafter called up our DGMO. There was no meditation. We did not accept any meditation or any interference by any other country.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the Prime Minister, of course, spoke about